Let's discuss the most classic self-help point there is, a positive mindset, man. And I know as soon as I say that, everyone with a negative mindset or a mindset is going to say, oh, fuck you, this positive shit doesn't do anything. You fucking believe in The Secret. Fuck you, it's good book! I sadly do. Anyway, the reason you need to think about this, in the old days, and by old days I mean 2 million years ago, sure, having a negative mindset was an advantage to you. It's an advantage in certain areas today. Obviously, having a critical mind frame is a good thing to have, but it's a tool. And another tool is having a positive mindset. Now, it was good back in the day when we were basically chimpanzees that could go, there we go, just a bit of a hunch. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the sexiest person 2 million years ago. In that time, obviously the person that was sitting in the cave thinking, if I go out there, will so try to get me up, but you will. I'll just stand here, I'll just wait for other people to come and get food, and then I'll just steal some of theirs, yes. That person is going to be at an advantage in that environment. But we don't live in that environment anymore. We live in an environment where the absolute worst thing that can happen to you today is, today it's ABC Comedy Wednesday. Oh shit, and I have to pay for this crap. That's it. That's what you're negative about these days. The mindset that was designed to ward off saber-toothed tigers is now getting fucking channeled into how shit is Netflix, it used to be good. It's not a productive use of time. In this environment, you are at a distinct advantage if you have an optimistic mindset. The reason is because in 4 out of 5 scenarios, yes, the person with a negative mindset, or as they like to call themselves, realists, are going to be correct. But 1 out of 5 of those times, the person with an optimistic mindset is going to be the correct one. And because they've got the optimistic mindset, they actually endeavored upon all 5 of these scenarios. They lost out 4 out of 5 times. But you know what happens when you lose out in this environment? You just feel butthurt for a few days going, they're all laughing at me. I'm still a good person, aren't I? Turn into a cat. But then when you turn back into a human being, you go and endeavour again. You actually haven't lost anything. You might have just lost a bit of face in the public's eye, aka your couple of stoner friends who sit there going, he wants to improve his life. The only way to improve your life is bitcoins. Who cares what they think? Because 1 out of 5 of those times, you will succeed. And guess what happens when you succeed? You move further in life. And then you fail another 4 times, and then that other time, you move even further, while that person is sitting there going, oh fuck, he's kind of winning. Well, they're probably just lucky. They'll justify in their minds. It's happened to me. There's been countless people that I've had to cut out of my life the further I've moved up, because they just sit there jealously going, he was lucky, he's just scamming people. Again, that negative mindset makes them think that everyone in the world is out to get them. No. The reality is, everyone's just thinking about themselves and how they can advance in life. And most people don't even bother thinking about how to advance in life. They sit there and it's basically just a defense at this point of going, everyone sucks who's succeeding. They're all a bunch of people that are out to destroy other people's lives. Even Bill Gates, who's donated millions, probably billions of dollars at this point to building people's lives up, into the simple points of giving them mosquito nets and wells. Yeah, he's just doing it so he can sell them fucking computer software. I'm sure that's the reason. Obviously, there might have been a point where the guy was selfish. Everyone is. After a while, when you start fulfilling your needs, you start thinking, I'm bored. How can I help other people? This is the mindset of an optimistic person. And that is why it is crucial for you to start cultivating it. Because 80% of the population is naturally negative. I'm super negative, as you can tell from Friendly Geordies. I can get into that mindset so well. It is in my DNA to be really fucking weary, paranoid, butthurt about things, look at everyone and go, I know what you're trying to do today. That is my classic mindset. I've had to mechanically make myself optimistic over the years by cultivating habits that put me in that mind frame, which is why I've got a whole morning ritual that we will be discussing in parts, but it's better to implement one habit at a time. So start with this one. When you wake up, the first 20 minutes that you wake up, you will have a hazy mind frame. You're just going to sit there and go, you fucking need to piss, another day. That's what my friends say. When I used to have flatmates, this is the first thing I heard them say when they got up. Oh, I don't want to go to work. Not a great start, right? And the worst thing is, the first couple of thoughts that you have, that dictates how you're going to think for the rest of the day. Your mind just goes into a pattern of going, oh, work, so can't wait to get home. It'll go like that. But if you wake up and go, oh my God, the sun's out again. I missed the sun, my eyes! You're going to be happy for the rest of the day. Or it will be easier for your mind to go into that pattern. So, when you wake up, first thing, definitely the absolute first thing, don't sit there and sit and mumble and go, oh no, I'll just look on my phone. If you have your smartphone still, which, let's not go down that path again. Whoa, what a nightmare! Put it in the bathroom or outside your room so when the alarm goes off, you have to move and turn it off. Otherwise, put an alarm out there like I have, just one of those classic 50s ones that go, alright, rise and shine, Sam, it's time to go out and be the milkman again. I've got one of those. Also because it's a grating, annoying sound, so you just shut the fuck up and you have to go and get it out. But you want to get out of bed as quickly as possible, and then you want to go on a walk. 15, 20 minutes, that's it. And while you're on that walk, you need to do two things. First of all, start breathing like this. Just do it with me now. No one's watching you, and if someone is watching you over there, just squeeze their ass a bit and go, yeah, that feels nice, doesn't it? Yeah, that's right. I'm condoning sexual harassment. Don't do that. Obviously, there's going to be someone in there being like, I can't believe it's not a joking matter to squeeze someone's ass. Yeah, it is. So, what you have to do, first off, is breathe like this. Do the pattern with me. Because it's starting to oxygenate your system. That's the first thing that you want to happen. You want to get your mind and your body moving. Because it makes your body more efficient. As opposed to just slugging around and going, coffee, I'll just put that drug in there and I feel good now. But it makes your brain scattered. If you oxygenate your body, it makes it focused. So, get up, breathe like this. I'll simulate walking. Are you doing it? Do that. While you're doing that, I want you to think these three questions. Force these three questions into your mind. The first one is, what am I grateful for? These can be people, these can be things. Usually what I think about is I'm grateful for my girlfriend, my parents, my extended family, my friends. I think about those people in my face because I like them. I go, yeah. Instantly I'm starting to feel happy. The next question is, what am I excited about today? Much better question than most people who wake up and say that, I'm getting back. You're thinking, I'm going to be excited because at work there's this person that I like there. At work, I like mopping the floors. If you like doing that, what a freak. You're clearly just Scruffy the janitor from Futurama, aren't you? I bet you have one of those moustaches that goes down here and you can't see my mouth. Then after that you think, okay, so those are the first two questions. What am I grateful for? Write them down. What am I grateful for? What am I looking forward to today? The last question, what am I committed to achieving? That's when you start thinking about your goals. At this point, because you're oxygenated, you've thought about what you're grateful for, what you're excited about, what you're committed to, you're going to be charged for life. By the time you get home, you'll be in a peak state. And then, this is another trick. I think it was Bernard Branchett that maybe came up with this. Anyway, I might look it up and put it in the display. It's pretty cheap of me to go, this is what I thought of, but I didn't think of it, but it was someone else that thought of it. Obviously, if it's not me, it's going to be someone else that thought of it. It was God. Maybe, who knows? He walks through, he's anchored it in his mind. We'll talk about anchoring in another video, but he's anchored in his mind that every time he walks through a door frame, he thinks this phrase, bring the joy. I know that sounds corny, but what is it in self-help? He says, bring the joy. Now, see what happens when you say it in your mind. Just say joy. Say excitement. Say happiness. If you think about moments in your life where you're excited and happy, obviously you're going to be even more excited. But just saying that word, because it's linked to that feeling, you start feeling that. So every time you walk through a door frame, anchor this in your mind. Bring the joy. It's a free high. On top of that, when you're going to Coles, This is another, I think it's a Buddhist technique actually. Most people, when they're sitting through, I don't know, the Roads and Maritime Service, going to Coles, they sit there and go, Turkish life's only $1.50. Yesterday it was $1. What happened to the world? Oh, just special. Well, it should always be that price because they can still turn a profit out of it. Outrageous. Most people in those environments are pissed off. There's two tricks. The first one is, every person that you walk past, just hope they have a happy day. It gives you positive feelings. On top of that, when you start interacting with people, it's training your brain that I like people, and then when you start talking to them, you just automatically feel happy, they automatically feel happy, it's win-win. Obviously, again, a lot of your success in life is going to boil down to your social interactions. And if you're feeling happy and positive, and you're making other people feel happy and positive, they're going to want to do favors for you. On top of that, you want to do favors for them, which because of the law of reciprocation, they're going to want to do more favors to you. These are just little tiny mindset tricks. Obviously, look, you're going to sit there and go, it doesn't happen instantly, so what's the point? But over the long trajectory of your life, that will give you better outcomes than sitting there going, yes, I don't know, thank you. Like some fucking 15-year-old female goth that sits there going, well, not to get me. The only people that I like is Bring Me Horizon, which, by the way, I do as well. It's probably my favourite band now. And it's like I'm sleepwalking. Any band that's hilarious. That's my style of music. I like music that's ridiculous. That's the first one. The other one is, think about why it's a good outcome that this thing even exists in the first place. Every time I'm walking through Coles, I think this is amazing, as opposed to people in Africa who have to sit there for 6 days hunting a pig and then go, and then the pig runs away and they go, fuck! How much better is it just going to Coles and buying lettuce pre-packaged? Maybe someone out there is going, I enjoyed the hunt. Well, fine, differences of opinions. Shame on you. So that's the other thing that you want to do. Obviously, when you're in Roads and Maritime Services, you should be thinking, while most people are sitting there going, come on, when's T36 coming out? You should be thinking, this is incredible that there is a licensing registry office that makes sure that everyone who's on the road should be on the road, is qualified to drive, as opposed in Africa where you can just run over someone, pay a cop $3 and say, you didn't see nothing, and get away with manslaughter. I prefer the Roads and Maritime Services. On top of that, I like the fact that I'm giving more taxes. It means that I can fund more schools. These are little tricks. So in a summary, every day that you get up, do the breathing technique. Jesus, that's weird, knowing that there's going to be thousands of people watching me do that. Then the other thing is, and then while you're doing that, think, what am I grateful for? What am I looking forward to today? And what am I committed to achieving in the long term? Think of those questions, and then every time that you're walking through a door, say, bring the joy, or bring the excitement, or whatever emotion you like feeling, just link it up that every time you walk through a door frame, you get that little high. Because it's all about retraining your mind to feel as positive as possible. Because in this day and age, the more optimistic person is more likely to take more risks, and the future belongs to the risk takers. It doesn't belong to the people that sit there fucking getting high all day and talking about how shit it is the government's out to get them, man. Have you done any research? I watched Zeitgeist in 2008. Belongs to the people that are out doing things. Optimistic people do more things. They're the ones that get ahead. That's why it's important. I'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, what am I talking about? You wait a week. See you then.